So this is the home safety assessment for Wright CVA. We're gonna start with the lighting, and as you look, there's lighting outside and all along the walkway, both out front and along the walkway that goes around the side. There's no garage. Here we're at an apartment complex, so this is essentially the driveway. It's a pretty steep incline. We've advised the patient to get all the way down before they get out. And so as we get closer to the entrance, there is a curb. So we've advised the patient to go to the lowest point. They'll be using a walker. And as we continue up, the gap between the walkway and the entrance is less than an inch. And we've advised the patient to plan out brakes using the handrails. Now we're assessing the staircase up to the walkway to the door. It's noted that it's too wide to use both handrails at the same time. So we've advised the patient to use whichever side of the handrail that they feel most comfortable, which in this case would be right side because of his right CVA. So here we're assessing the walkway up to the front, which is down on the left. So we've advised the patient to stay close to the handrail, and it's gapped in between. So we've advised the patient to also take breaks when necessary and plan out breaks at each handrail if they need it. So now we're at the front entrance exterior door. It's noted that it's wide enough to make safe turns when needed. And one thing that we've advised the patient to do is to tack down their welcome mat or remove it for safety of using the walker. It should also be noted that there's no rear entrances to the apartment. So now we're assessing the exterior doorway. It's noted that the door is wide enough for the patient to use a walker safely through it. The exterior threshold is less than an inch, so it was noted that they need to be careful because there is a little ramp. For the door itself, it has a lever handle, so there's no knob. It has a deadbolt lock. One thing that was advised was it's safe to open, but the door will swing shut. So the patient was advised to maintain contact with the door all the way through until they clear the door into the entranceway.
So now we're inside the home. We're looking at the entryway here, and there are no throw rugs or any kind of tripping hazards in the way. There is a clear pathway through the entry hall. There are no cords and wires in the pathway. All of the thresholds are less than an inch, so that doesn't present with a problem. There is adequate lighting. The light switch at the entrance of the room is right when you come through the doorway, and it is a wide enough entryway and walkway for the patient to get in and out easily with his walker. So now we're looking at the hallways. This is the only hallway in the apartment. There are no handrails, so the patient has been advised to use their assistive device. In this case, it would be a walker to move through the hallway. There is carpet in the hallway, but it is tacked down, so it's safe to walk on. There's a rug right here in this part of the hallway. The patient's been advised to pay close attention to the rug. And then there's, and if possible, tack the rug down. The thresholds are less than an inch going into this part of the hallway, so that doesn't present with a safety problem. And there is adequate lighting, and there is a light switch at both ends of the hall. So now moving to the doors. The doors in this apartment are easily opened. They are easily closed. The threshold is less than an inch going in and out of the doorways. The latches on the doors are in good condition. The door handles are easily used, and it is actually a lever doorknob, so that makes it even easier to use for the patient. Now into the living room and dining room. The lighting is adequate in this part of the apartment. There is a light switch at the entrance to the room. It has a clear path through the room. There's no obstructions or anything like that. There are no thresholds between dining room and living room. It's all on the same floor. There are no carpets. There are no plastic runners or carpet protectors. There's no throw rugs. The floor is not slippery. It has no chips or tears, so it's in good condition. There is at least one comfortable chair that a person can get in and out of safely and easily. The furniture is stable. The tables, in this case the countertop, is smoothed off and rounded off for so the patient doesn't injure themselves on the edges. The windows do not open easily, so we have a sliding door. The shades and blinds are easy to open and they are securely attached. And electrical cords are run behind the furniture, so they are out of the patient's way when walking around the apartment. The kitchen, the items that are frequently used are visible and easily reached. The refrigerator and the pantry are easily accessible. The sink faucets are easy to reach, especially with somebody with a walker. It's actually good for this patient with a right-sided CVA because the on-off switch to the faucet is on the right side of the faucet. The hot and cold areas are easily determined, and it reaches a gradual temperature. So what I mean by that is it reaches hot at a slow rate and cold at a slow rate, so it's easily controlled the temperatures. The timers have been installed on the oven and cooktop. The burners and control knobs are clearly labeled and easy to use. As far as the controls to the front of the stove, they are actually in the back, so the patient has been advised to use their toaster oven if they have trouble reaching the controls of the oven. There is a close resting place for hot items that are coming out of the oven. You can just set it right on the countertop. The glass cookware being used. There is glass cookware being used so the patient can see the food being cooked. The microwave is not too high. It is it's pretty accessible. There are no curtains, towels, pot holders, or anything like that near the oven or stovetop. So it's out of harm's way as far as being able to catch on fire or anything like that. There is no step stool, but the patient is able to reach everything and has no trouble with reaching or anything like that. So the step stool is not really needed. The kitchen does have a proper ventilation system, and there is good lighting, as you can see, over the cooking or working areas. For the laundry, there is a light switch at the entry of it. There is sufficient lighting. All you have to do to get to the laundry is open these two double doors here, which is part of the main part of the apartment. So it has a safe route. You literally just open the doors and you're right there at your appliances. The appliances are the right height. You may need an extension gripper, but as far as getting clothes in and out of the appliances, it's at a good height. The control knobs are not so easy to reach. They're on the back. But again, if you had an extension gripper, you could control the appliances with that. And as far as supplies, they are up above the supplies are above the appliances on a shelf. So you could use the extension gripper for that as well. They're not too high up, so the extension gripper will be perfect. And then it is not a non-slip floor surface, but the floor is not slippery at all. It's a sort of linoleum type flooring that makes it non-slippery, and there are no tripping hazards. The patient keeps their laundry in a laundry basket.
So now we're assessing the bathroom inside the home. There's two sink tops. The sinks are not able to be sat at, but our patient will be using their walker, and the mirrors are the appropriate height. Next, the toilet. From the seated position, they're able to get all the toiletries that they need, but it was noted that there's no handrail. They would have to either use the ledge from the sink or review options to get a handrail installed. There's also noted a rug, a shower rug. We've advised that the patient tack it down. Next, the tub. It's noted that it's pretty high up, and patient should review options for a shower seat to get in and out safely. Next, the knobs for the water in the shower are clearly labeled for hot and cold, and everything is securely fastened. It's also noted that in the shower there is no handrail to get in and out or to hold while you're in it. They've also been advised to review options for purchasing one. So we lightly touched on this earlier. This hallway is also their closet as well that they utilize. The shelves are easy to reach. Everything that the patient needs is low or shoulder height. The patient also utilizes storage bins, and there are no tripping hazards in the main walking way, and the doors are easy to open, and there's also no sliding. So as we proceed to the bedroom, there's a light at the entrance of the room. There is a light at the bedside. There's also a non-electric light that the patient has put. There's a clear pathway to get in and out. There's no cords and wires on the floor. The carpet is smooth with no folds. There is no noted support for getting out of bed, so patient has been told to review options for finding support getting in and out of the bed. And the blinds and shades are properly secured. There is no home phone. Patient keeps their cell phone on them and next to them when they're sleeping at night. And the patient keeps his walker within reaching distance. Generally, some overall home safety concerns. The small appliances are kept unplugged when they're not in use, and all of the electrical outlets have covers on them and there's no wires exposed. Everything is in good working order, and there are no issues with any of the electrical components of the home.